My name is Abhimanyu Datta. I'm an elder son, elder brother, and a fiance to a superwoman. I'm an MBA turned logistics entrepreneur and now a profit scaler coach. I've been published by a leading English newspaper, and I was empaneled by Minister of Textiles, Government of India, to train over 200 entrepreneurs of the country over a 6-month project. And I'm on a mission to help 1 million entrepreneurs under the age of 45 achieve 10x profit using intuition. And I'm the founding partner of 10x Profit Hub. So let's start this video. So first we'll understand what is the meaning of word bias, and then what exactly do we mean by intuitive bias. So the meaning of the word bias, which is spelled as BIAS, is it causes you to feel. So bias is one, it causes you to feel. So a particular trigger will cause you to feel a certain thing. It also leads to show inclination towards particular thought or particular thing. So when we have a bias regarding anything or towards a person, so suppose we are biased towards a person either in a good way or a bad way. So for example, you are biased towards your friend. That means you would always feel that your friend is always right. You would always show inclination towards your friend's thinking, and you would always say that what your friend is thinking is correct. So it is guided towards a particular person, like in this example your friend, a situation, group, or it can be anything, and it considered to be unfair. So the meaning of the bias means we are unfair to someone else because we are attracted, or we are attracted to someone, or we feel very highly about it, and we are very closed, emotionally close to that situation or person or group. So now where intuition bias applies, or in which situation? So intuition bias can happen when you are taking a particular decision. Decision making is the number one place where intuitive bias happens. Either you will feel good if the outcome is positive, or you will feel bad if the outcome is negative. So let us understand in detail. So we understood that intuitive bias can happen in decision making. Now if you're taking a decision and it feels good when you're taking a particular decision because the outcome is going to be positive, so you would be biased towards that decision, right? So suppose for example, you are thinking whether to buy that car or not, but instead of thinking logically and whether it's your finances allow you, or whether all those features meet your requirements or not, you actually feel that if I buy that car, I will be feeling so good about it because people would be looking at me, my status symbol would improve. So that's an intuitive bias in a positive sense. Now in a negative sense, you might not like that color, or you might not like that company, or the company might be in bad news due to something or the other factors in the market. So you might think that this automobile company is already news but in bad news because of this particular thing. So if I buy this car, it would show me in bad light. So this is a negative bias that is creating in your decisions. Now decisions are of two types, and that has been explained in psychology. So one is the intuitive choice, which is a fast method. Thinking when you're taking fast decisions, and you think fast, you take immediate decisions. So that is called the intuitive choice system one thinking, where you think fast and you take decisions quickly. Second system is called as non-intuitive choice system 2, where you deliberate a lot, you slow down, you think of all the permutations, combinations, what are the benefits of this thing or the disadvantages. You deliberate it over few days or weeks before arriving at a decision. So basically you take a lot of time to take a decision. So you are a system 2, a deliberative method of decision taking. Now when intuition bias occurs, it occurs only in two situations, where there is lots of data. So you might become biased to a particular thing. When you look at a particular set of data, you become attracted towards it, and all your decisions will revolve around it. So for example, you are in a professional environment, you are in a business, and you are about to decide the vendor who will be providing you X service for your business. Now, and you have received almost say 30 applications. just for that single service. So that's lots of data, because every vendor will have their own company history, their services, their price. Now whom will you select? So that is when intuitive bias occurs, because there might be something that attracts you to a particular vendor. Now you might be thinking, all right, I like the color red, and if that particular vendor has red color in its logo, or they have used red color in their quotation very smartly somewhere there, you would be automatically biased towards that vendor, even if that vendor, why it will not be profitable for you in the long run. Okay. And the second situation, when there is lack of data, when there is no data at all, then you rely on your positive feeling or negative feeling. You look for an anchor of, and it can be anchor of anything. If it depends on what anchor you really choose to feel. It can be a positive feeling. If there is lack of data, you would take a certain decision, and if you don't get anything, you might anchor out on a negative thinking. And it all depends what your mindset has been, what were the triggers you had during the day to put you in a positive mental state of mind or a negative state of mind. So that's how you catch the anchor, and that's when, during the lack of data, you take decisions and you become intuitively biased, and then you take wrong decisions. So now, how intuitive bias or intuition bias affects our decisions? See, it affects our decision making in the following ways. It makes our decision making tough, because when we are biased towards something, we are attracted towards something, we can't think logically, and even if we have the data, we are not willing to accept it. All right. When we are personally involved in the whole decision making process and the business, and we want to feel good at the end of the day that we have taken the right decision, that is where we can again become intuitively biased. It's a whole psychological subject where scientists have undertaken performed experiments on people. Researchers and psychologists have conducted so many experiments, and they have theses written on it. So I'm trying to explain you in a very simple language, where it can also affect your decision making if you have strong tendency of relying only on intuition, strong tendency of only relying on feeling, or also tendency to rely just on data, right? If you're mind blown with all this information, comment mind blown. You might be watching anywhere on any platform: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, or YouTube, but I want you to comment that mind blown, if you are mind blown after listening to this information. So the strong tendency, and there might be an exaggerated tendency in humans to be biased towards something. So we humans have a tendency to be exaggerating things in our lives. We might exaggerate happiness, we might exaggerate fear, and due to fear you might get into a negative bias and you take decisions accordingly. All right. I have a exclusive community for people who want to learn how to get 10x profit using intuition, and there in the community, which is free to join, you will get access to exclusive videos, trainings, and webinars for the same. So if you're willing to learn, and if you have liked my content and you would like to go deeper into the subject, I would request you to go to the description of the video, click on the link, and join my community, where I'll see you there. And we would be discussing a lot in detail of how you can get 10x profit with intuition into your business or profession. And before signing off, I want you to comment what has been your biggest takeaway. What did you learn from this video of what is intuitive bias? So until next time, until next video, take care. Bye bye.